Hello everyone and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I'm doing something a bit different. I have decided to do a mini review of the 3 films that I watched this last weekend in one video. All of these films are available to stream now and include The Boy from Medellin on Amazon Prime and Initiation and The Unthinkable on VOD. So, let's get started. The film I will be going over is Amazon Prime's music documentary, The Boy from Medellin. It follows Colombian reggaeton Grammy Award winner J Balvin during the week before his 2019 homecoming concert amid intense political turmoil. As his people are taking to the streets to boycott their political leader and fight for their right to healthcare and education, among many other things, his fans scrutinize him for taking a back seat and hiding from making a stand and using his platform to further their cause. Director Matthew Heineman, who has given us the documentaries Escape Fire, Cartel Land, and City of Ghosts, was the perfect person to take this subject on, even though you might not expect it from his filmography. While some filmmakers would have just given us a straightforward concert doc, which he also does give us here, and those scenes are quite stirring, but Heineman goes a step further by delving deep into his subject, giving us an honest, genuine, and intimate portrait of not just J Balvin, but also the man behind the moniker, Jose Alvaro Osorio Balvin. This is also a meditation on the importance of mental health awareness, fame and identity, and the pedestal we give to our artists of the day. Why do we give these people who have fame and fortune such a pedestal to share their beliefs, their ideals, and political views? And in turn, why is all of that so important to us? And is it their responsibility, because we've given them that pedestal, to use their voice for the voiceless? Heineman utilizes the thoughtful yet guarded Balvin to really explore these questions among many others, and that is what makes this music documentary so rewarding. I must say though that I have to dock some points here for Scooter Braun showing up in another music doc this year as an executive producer, swooping in at the end of the film trying to paint himself as the savior. He's not fooling anyone. So I will be giving The Boy from Medellin 3.5 J Balvin heads out of 5. In the end, Scooter Braun's presence cannot take away from the true star power of Balvin. I think this is a must-watch, definitely for fans of the international superstar, but also anyone interested in a music doc with a powerful message. Next up, we have the new slasher film Initiation, directed by John Berardo and written by John Berardo and Lindsay LaVanche, which you can stream on VOD now. The film takes place at Wheaton University during Pledge Week, where a young star athlete is found murdered, which kicks off a spree of brutal slayings. So, I really wanted to like this movie. I love myself a good slasher flick, but holy crap, was this movie a total bore. I always respect a horror film taking its time to build up its characters, but when its characters are so flat and lack any kind of depth, the last thing you want to do is spend a bunch of time getting to know them. But let's be honest, the characters don't have to be all that interesting if you're at least having a bloody fun time, right? Well, in Initiation, it takes at least a half an hour for any kind of action to take place, and then once the first kill sets in motion the actual plot of the film, it takes another half an hour for the kills to begin again. The pace of Initiation is so off. The start and stop momentum just really took me out of the film to where I never felt any kind of tension or suspense being built. And when we finally get to that third act where the pace is finally off to the races and the kills are happening left and right, I had unfortunately already found myself tuned out of the movie. I must admit that some of the kills were quite gruesome, and gorehounds will get a kick of moments of the flick, but honestly, none of them were inventive enough for me to shudder or cringe at, and I will give Initiation this. It is a well-made horror film. It's shot nicely, the actors aren't completely terrible. The social media that pops up throughout actually feels like it's progressing the story and not just a gimmick, and I think they were able to pull off a lot with such a small budget. But what really makes this a complete skip for me are some major issues I have with the script. It feels like Initiation is trying to be a horror movie with a message about rape culture and cyberbullying, but it never succeeds in actually saying a damn thing about either of those topics. And the script also creates a whodunit atmosphere where it really is attempting to get the audience guessing as to who the killer is up to the big reveal, throwing in clues and scratch your chin plot points. But when it all comes together, let's be honest, I can't even say that it comes together because the end, in my opinion, is just a total mess. So I will be giving Initiation 2 exclamation points out of 5. Although surprisingly well made for a slasher film of this budget, Initiation's snail-like pace, uninteresting characters, and haphazard script hinder it from being any fun or worthwhile. Lastly, we have a new Swedish film available on VOD called The Unthinkable, or Den Blomsterdead Newcomer? This movie is actually pretty exciting because it is an example of a new form of independent filmmaking that I can absolutely get behind. 5 friends from Sweden who were making YouTube videos formed a collective called Crazy Pictures and were able to collect most of this film's $2 million budget from a Kickstarter campaign. The 5 friends would like to all be credited as jointly handling directing, producing, and all other major duties on their films. What an amazing way to keep creative integrity and to keep your film out of the hands of studio execs who just love to mess with artists' original visions. The Unthinkable follows Alexander, an esteemed musician who tries to reunite with his childhood love, Anna, while Sweden faces a mysterious and catastrophic attack. First and foremost, I must say that this disaster action picture looks like it was made for $70 million, not a measly $2 million. When I found out the budget after I watched the film, my jaw dropped straight to the ground. This is an incredible looking film, so beautifully shot with epic action set pieces that include a slick one-shot hand-to-hand combat scene, a helicopter airplane battle, a nighttime firefight between squadrons of soldiers, a huge vehicle pileup on a bridge, aircrafts falling from the sky and exploding. The list of insanity goes on. And for the most part, everything looks fantastic and keeps you on the edge of your seat. There is a feeling that you get watching this film of disorientation from the chaos that really throws you headfirst into the action. The Unthinkable also does the unthinkable and puts its characters in the forefront of the film over its blockbuster set pieces. The first 40 minutes or so of the movie really set in place our lead characters' motivations and their relationships in a way that you really understand who they are and what makes them tick. I found the strained father-son relationship to be the beating heart of the movie, though the romantic relationship is what takes the forefront by the end. And sometimes the sentimentality of that relationship didn't necessarily work for me. I also must say that the lead actor who also co-wrote the film, Christopher Nordenroth, does not have the star power or gravitas to carry the film on his shoulders. He kind of just blankly stares his way through the movie, and that was a real shame. Still, I think that The Unthinkable is a real standout for the way in which it has turned how we view the blockbuster and how it can be made on its head. So I will be giving the film 3.75 busted guitars out of 5. This is a gripping, at times shocking, and action-packed disaster flick that, despite some misgivings here and there with performances and character actions, proves that ingenuity, passion, and a bit of scrappiness is all you need to create something really special. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on these 3 films. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, which really helps the channel out immensely, and we will see you soon.